Meltdown presents The Disney Click with Rick and Briers. This podcast is sponsored by Meltdown Comics and Collectibles in Hollywood, California. Find Meltdown on meltcomics.com.
Hey guys, welcome to the Disney Click. I'm Rick with my deliriously happy co-host Briers. How you doing, Briers?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I guess I'm deliriously happy.
I think so. Is that
It's December?
oh, yeah? Yay, December.
Yeah.
Happy holidays,
Thank
everybody.
you. Oh, you were just saying that to me.
Happy holidays, Briers.
But happy holidays to all the listeners.
Yeah. We have a good show today.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days I'll say we have a bad show, but I think this is a good one. Our top 5 Disney list is bygone things from the Disney parks and surrounding areas. So it can include anything within the Disney boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah, Briers is looking at me because I
He's fudged the name of it to accommodate some of his choices.
I gave you warning, so I wasn't cheating on this one.
But just because you give warning doesn't mean that
well,
the rules can change.
Enough time for you to
didn't,
change yours if you wanted to.
Permission. Well, it's all in love. I'm intrigued to hear what it is that's not in the parks, but that's outside of the parks that you're kind of missing.
All right. Well, it's you will see.
I will see.
Okay.
Ooh, is it? Okay, never mind. I have a guess.
Okay, you might have a guess, but we'll not.
Wait, I have a major guess.
No, you can't guess.
Can I guess when we get there?
Well, when we get into the list, I don't know.
Say it at all. Okay.
I don't know, but anyway. So beyond that, we're also going to talk a little bit of Disney news and tidbits. Some talk about the Good Dinosaur just a little bit. Briers and I both saw it recently, and just a couple quick thoughts on it. I think, right?
Yes. We
and
haven't discussed.
Yeah.
What we think about it.
Yeah, we kind of were saving it for the air.
Secretive.
And also a couple of little tidbits from Disneyland rumors and other things. So we'll get to that. And then finally, we have my lovely wife, Terri, is going to be join us a little bit later. And she's going to, we've had a Stump Briers and a Stump Rick. So now it's time for Terri to stump both of us. So
I was going to say. Boom.
Sorry. I'm surrounded by a lot of smart and lovely ladies today. I always like that, So it's always good to have.
Pour the board on thick. Lay it on.
I genuinely feel that.
Okay.
You need to work on your self-confidence there.
I guess. I won't comment right now.
Okay. I'm not sure what you would say to that.
Through my head.
Anyway, before I'm not sure if I'm getting myself in trouble or not here, but before I get myself in more trouble, let's go on to the Disney list.
And now, the Disney list.
All right. So these are things that are no longer at Disney World, Land. I think that and these are things we wish we could have seen. We might not have experienced them, but these are things that we perhaps wanted to be there and we didn't get to see, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And I will say that, Briers, if I'm speaking too much for you, this is primarily, I'm looking at my list and I'm guessing with Briers' list, this is primarily Walt Disney World. I have a couple honorable mentions perhaps that are Disneyland, but it really is. Disney World is where both Briers and I kind of grew up going to and have things that we might have experienced or have heard about that haven't done. So I have a lot of Disney World. I think almost all Disney World on my list. How about you?
Yes, mine's predominantly Disney World, but there is a Disneyland appearance.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And as I said, the honorable mentions, there are Disneyland stuff. So if we get to that, you'll hear that. There's so much stuff out there that. Yeah, I think they're getting cooler and cooler and better that it's hard to look back and say, oh my God, that would have been awesome. But what I'm saying more is that it's nostalgia. It's like, that's so quaint or that's so cool. Or they wouldn't do that anymore at Disneyland or Disney World. And that's where I found the basis of my list.
And I had some that just inspired. I'm like, oh, like maybe that is missing from that park, something like that ride.
Right.
There's like one that I had never heard of. And I was like, that would be cool. But maybe if there's a reason it closed, but I'm intrigued by it, what it has to offer,
right,
and what it brings that didn't exist prior to the ride being there.
Yeah, that's fair. So why don't you start us off? I feel like I've been
Okay.
leading us. So you go with your number 5.
Okay. My number 5 is Body Wars in the Wonders of Life Pavilion. You're nodding your head.
It's not on my list,
Oh, okay.
but I thought about it. Body Wars, there's a lot of interesting stuff with Body Wars.
So this one, it opened in October of 1989, and there's a high possibility I went on it. I was not able to fact check.
It
with
was
my
in
parents.
the Wonders of Life Pavilion, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's what, yeah. And so I'm not confirmed that I went on it. I'm guessing I did, but I do not remember it. So I'm coming from a place of not going on it. But it was an early motion simulator ride where you go inside the human body with a crew and you're fighting off the white blood cells from a splinter. I was reading
Is it a little bit like Inner Space, the movie Inner Space? I think I did this. I did this ride for sure. But it's so long ago that I just don't remember it. But I remember it being like an Inner Space type, right? Which is you shrunk down and go into a
because
person's body.
you're in a spaceship called Bravo 229. Yeah.
Why Bravo 229? I wonder.
There was no explanation.
Okay.
I know. I was like, is that a body thing? I don't know.
Bravo, nice body. I don't know.
Wait, is 229? Is that is that how many? No, I'm not going to say.
Okay, how many body parts there are or something like that?
No. Maybe I'll.
Okay. Well.
Okay. But so I love motion simulator rides. That's what got me the most on it.
Now you do, or back then you did?
Always have.
Okay, wow.
When I was young, and I still do.
Okay.
Like I love them.
Yeah, some of my least favorite rides tend to be. Oh, that's not true.
You get
I
sick
still,
from them?
I mean, I still like Star Tours, but I can't do them as much. I feel vertigo a little bit from them and get a little nausea.
And yeah, I get zero nausea. As a child, Star Tours was my favorite. Like when I was like 5, could have gone on Star Tours over and over. So I love those rides because they feel safe. I think as I knew I could see the ride and know like they weren't going to entirely flip that machine. It would never get too scary. But it was just something so fun with the screen, and they made it feel like you were really on some kind of, crazy ride, and they can turn you. So this just sounded really fun. And it also, I mean, I know Epcot's goal has always been to be fun, but also educational. And this seemed like it could really achieve that, but also being a true thrill. I think sometimes Epcot, my struggle with it is that when it goes down the educational route, it gets a little boring. Would be
the issue with Epcot now is so much has changed and shut down. I think the idea of educational part. I don't know if people are turned off by that exactly, but something about it when people go to Disney World, it seems like it doesn't gel as well with people. So several pavilions I think have closed over the years. And
I think because they haven't made it enough of still a ride. Because I think like this proves an example of how you can still have a ride where you're like, oh, buckle up, hang on, but we're learning,
right?
And so the ride then closed in January of 2007. And I'm guessing, that it sounds like this was just a thing of it had kind of run its course, being open.
The Wonders of Life Pavilion, did Soarin' replace it, or is it still there? Is the building still there?
The building is still there for special events.
Okay.
Is what I read in my research.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right.
You can go wave to where Body Wars used to be.
Yeah, looking at the list of candidates, there seems to be several Epcot Future World stuff that is no longer there. I know people have fond memories of Figment, who I don't think is still there anymore, right? So,
well, we can talk about that.
Okay, I won't.
Hint.
Okay, sorry, I won't. Didn't mean to step on you. Can I go to my number 5?
You may.
All right, my number 5 is not a flashy ride, and it's probably one that many, if not most people, don't remember that fondly. But for some reason, I remember it really well enough that I instantly went to try to Google it and find out. It's If You Had Wings at Walt Disney World, sponsored by Eastern Airlines. It was in Tomorrowland, and it was a simple ride. When it first opened, it was not. It was opened in 1972 and closed down in 1987. It was transferred to a different.
So I never wrote this.
Yeah, it really wasn't anything. I'm not selling it very much, but it's a nostalgia thing for me. Once again, it was sponsored by Eastern Airlines. When the park opened up, it was still a ticket attraction. You had to pay for tickets and everything like that. So you had to do that sort of thing, and was free, and you go into this pod, and you go through the dark ride, and it's just screens of places they go. So it might have been like Jamaica or Bermuda or various places, and it was just you kind of get swept up into the sounds of and sights of places that Eastern Airlines flew you to. It was kind of a bit of an ad, and there's
sounds like an entirely an ad, but like
there was
an
nothing
ad.
so special about it, except I remember really just kind of liking the music. If You Had Wings, it was like over and over again. And
I'm curious. So, what was the vehicle like? That you said it was a
it
dark
was an
ride.
It was an Omni Mover. It was an Omni Mover. So it was.
But
very
I mean,
quick.
was it like the closed kind, like on Haunted Mansion or Little Mermaid, or or like more open, like the Great Movie
I think it was
ride?
a little more. I think it was a little. Well, it wasn't open. It was.
Was
individual.
it like an airplane?
It was a few. No, it wasn't
That
like
would
an
be
airplane.
really
I remember it was a few. It was a few riders in a row.
Missed opportunity, right?
Yeah, I think it was more akin to a doom buggy kind of thing, a little bit.
So two people would sit
three.
together.
I think you get 3 or 4. I don't remember exactly what. This is going from
look
memory.
up pictures of
yeah,
this. I'm
and if you
intrigued.
look at the video on YouTube, it doesn't look like anything because you're just kind of going through and you see the screens. But I just remember it making an impact for me. And I want to go back.
Again was
Eastern Airlines.
Is that's
It
no
went
more,
it went out of
right?
business. Although I saw somewhere that it might be back if possible. I don't know.
How does that work then?
Right? I don't know.
Comes back from
It definitely went out of business for a while, and if it's back, it's fairly recent. But I remember
maybe the ride will come back.
I remember Eastern Airlines. Maybe I have an associate because we flew Eastern Airlines a lot back when I was a kid. This is when I was really young, but so it's I don't know that many people. I'm curious if anybody out there remembers If You Had Wings and it made any sort of impact like it did on me. So, but it's my number 5. I had to slip it in there because it's not a very exciting one, but to me it's a nostalgic.
It sounds
one. So,
cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
The visual I have in my head, I would ride it.
Okay. All right.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. Well, you're number 4.
My number 4 is one I never knew about until doing research for this top 5, and I was just really intrigued by it, and that is rocket rods.
That's an honorable mention for me.
Okay, and that was in Disneyland, in Tomorrowland, and it briefly replaced the People Mover, and I think what struck me, and this is kind of what I was getting at before we started the top 5, was that I think sometimes I love Tomorrowland, as I've said in previous podcasts, but I think it's definitely lacking in number of rides and in thrills. Except for Space Mountain, there's really nothing that's that.
Star Tours?
But I don't think of Star Tours as that scary or thrilling.
Okay.
It's fun, but it's very relaxed.
Right.
To me. Maybe it's just
I don't know if
get
people would
sick.
say that so much, but yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, but rocket rods, yeah.
Yeah, so
Continue.
I saw this rocket rod ride, which was an outdoor, kind of looked like a more chill roller coaster outdoors. And I just thought like that, I feel like there's a lot of potential there to have a fun, like unique themed futuristic coaster that goes outdoors, because Space Mountain is entirely inside. And so yeah, I just felt like maybe that's missing, and there's some potential there. It's a bummer because the whole reason it didn't really work is because they were using the same track as the People Mover.
They couldn't do bank turns and keep the speed. It had to slow down whenever it turned, and it completely ruined the fun effect of kind of like what you get with Test Track or Radiator Springs Racers.
Exactly. So I mean, I can see how it was like a dud. And you read Poor Ride, like every few months they were like it was closed for repairs, and they'd say they were going to open, and then what eventually happened is it was closed for repairs and just never reopened.
Right.
Poor thing. Poor rocket rods.
The stop and starting of the the bank turns and slowing down that broke
damaged. The previous tracks from the People Mover. So it was only open from May 1998 to April 2001.
And the executives admitted said that it just didn't work. She said the mistake was the person who said the mistake was that we built it on a People Mover track, and it just wasn't suited for the ride we wanted.
But I'm like, I'm just thinking, I wonder, maybe they just weren't feeling the ride being there, but why they didn't just entirely rip the track out and put in a proper track, just redo the attraction, or upgrade it to the needs.
My understanding, and this is just through reading, is that they couldn't get a sponsor for it, and therefore they had a limited budget.
Needed Eastern Airlines,
right. They had a limited budget for it,
or NASA,
and therefore they couldn't do it exactly full tilt with it, and that's
a bummer.
That's what they had to try that.
They
one.
were all about sponsoring rides back in.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen as much.
No, not as much.
But like everything was sponsored.
Well, Honda's sponsoring Autotopia now. They're going to close it down in Disneyland. I'm not sure Disney World as well, and kind of updated a little bit because Honda is now a sponsor for Autotopia. So
I just remember Kodak sponsoring a lot of
yeah,
things,
right.
like the Lion King ride. Everything was Kodak.
The Lion King ride or
the
show?
Show.
Okay.
Yeah, the show.
Yeah. Good one. Okay,
Yeah.
You take one of my. I thought about putting that.
I've never heard of it.
I've not heard good things about it, but it just sounds to be over Tomorrowland, zooming around and slow.
So I think it was more the concept.
Do you like the People Mover in Walt Disney World?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that for nostalgia purposes,
I'm
and the fact that it goes through Space Mountain, and you get that glimpse, kind of like the train and Splash Mountain. Yeah,
totally
big
with
fan.
you. Totally with you.
Keep it.
I don't think it's anything great, but I think it's a nostalgia thing. It's just kind of cool
great,
to be there.
Never a line,
and everybody can go on it.
and it's so efficient getting on. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my
we
number.
like People Mover, right?
we agree.
Look
Yay.
at us.
Number
Happy
4.
holidays, Rick.
I'm happy holidays to you too.
Thank you.
I'm stepping out of the parks for this one. So this is one of the ones that have you heard the legend of River Country by any chance? It's basically the first water park at Walt Disney World. It used like the natural lake
Is
water.
Is that the one where they found
the brain
things? Yes,
eating?
okay.
And supposedly that's not necessarily confirmed that's why it
explain
didn't.
it in detail.
Well,
I mean, what they found.
Well, it opened in 1976 and closed 2001. They found some sort of I believe an 11-year-old passed away or something from something that he got supposedly
brain eating.
Yeah.
What were they, like worms or something?
Bacteria. I don't know. I'm not sure.
All
exactly
I know is I read that and was like, even if that water park miraculously reopened, I would never go.
They had it was a sandy bottom. They had a unique water filtering system. It was kind of integrated. They made it look rock work, and they tried to make it look like an old-fashioned swimming hole, is what they say.
Great for bacteria to grow in. It sounds
I guess so. But the interesting thing is they haven't like bulldozed it. It's still there. It's still there and kind of abandoned behind closed. So it almost has this haunted mystique to me, like old abandoned water park.
Yeah,
it's cool. Have they done a horror movie in an old abandoned water park? Because I have a location for you guys at Walt Disney World.
Don't actually film there because people could get the thing in their brains.
the bacteria. But
I'm really concerned about the brain eating.
I don't think it's as spectacular or as wonderful as what Blizzard Beach is or Typhoon Lagoon is, but they had a Whoop and Holler water slide, which is basically a short water slide that just dropped you flying into the water.
And you whoop and holler while going down it.
I guess so. But it
funny.
just kind of looked cool, and I like the idea of it being integrated into the water. And it was kind of a neat idea. And I would have liked to check it out and see what that's about. I mean, I'm sure that the new water parks make it pale in comparison, but
which aren't so new anymore.
No,
I don't
right?
really. They're getting up there.
Yeah, well,
one of them opened. Is Typhoon Lagoon like 89 or something?
I don't know that
they're definitely like 80s, early 90s.
Well, Universal is opening like a brand new water park there.
They would.
It's okay. They can do that.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
I think it'd be kind of cool what they're doing. And there's room for multiple theme parks here, Briers. It's okay.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, River Country, as I said, 1976 to 2001. It finally closed. It was supposedly not announced that it wasn't opening, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, we're not opening again. It's we're done. So that's what happened.
And that's your one that's not inside the parks?
One of two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I feel like that is since it was a park.
Oh, you could count that. You don't feel so. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then maybe only one will potentially violate
You're off
what
the
we're
hook
talking
a little bit.
Okay. Give me your number 3, please.
My number 3 is Journey into Imagination with Figment.
There it is. Figment, my man.
This one actually,
the
as
purple
I'm saying
dinosaur
it,
wingy thing.
It could have been number 1. I don't know why I didn't make it number 1 because I love it so much. Yeah, the purple dinosaur, the dream finder. So this was open 1983 to 1998 in Epcot, and it has been replaced by a similar Figment ride, Journey into Imagination with Figment, which I went on in 2010, and that's part of the reason the old version made my list is because the new version, I was not into the way they had changed it. Mainly by getting rid of the bearded man with the top hat and the goggles. He was like the main event.
The Willy Wonka-esque kind of guy.
He created Figment to catch all the dreams. So yeah, the updated version completely got rid of him, which I don't understand. And I just remember like Figment on his bicycle and all. I just remember all the effects of the original, and it felt a lot more like pure and magical. And they've just they simplified it. It felt like the Winnie the Pooh ride. Or
Do you think
something.
it's possible that you grew up a little bit and just didn't seem when they did that? It didn't seem as big of a deal to you because you're older when they did that.
You mean if I had gone on the old ride now, if I would still like it as much?
Yeah, maybe, or if you were young, really young when you went on the newer version of it, would you have liked it more? Not,
I think my biggest thing is that they got rid of like this interesting, mysterious character, this
Right.
bearded man who seemed like Figment only existed because of him. Like He
Right.
was his pet or something.
He wasn't creepy or anything. I remember him. I don't remember him being particularly creepy.
And
or
I
anything.
found a really cool photo of like I guess they had just like someone would dress as Walt or not Walt, as Mickey or Donald Duck. Someone dressed as the bearded man. He doesn't have a name either, as far as I could find, which I like. So mysterious. And he walked around with like the Figment puppet. And I found an old photo of someone like posing with him, like a character photo. So maybe we can put that on the Instagram.
Okay.
That person doesn't
All right.
mind. They won't know. It's
We'll
an
see.
old stock photo.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just it feels like they changed it so much that it's not the same.
I remember a lot of those rides vaguely, and I was at Epcot as a kid. For some reason, World Showcase sticks in my head more when it comes to Epcot. Maybe that's telling why a lot of these rides have gone away. I mean, I liked Figment. Figment was always a big part of my imagery of Epcot, especially.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was young, Figment was big.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that he's gone.
I think that this list was tough for me because I don't have a great memory with specifics outside of like the classic rides.
Right.
And this was one I really remembered. And I remember too a few years back going on the new one and being like, wait a second, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
again,
okay.
you're right. I don't know if it's just
I don't know. It's a good one.
an age thing, and I don't know.
It's definitely one that I think a lot of people will miss, and it's a character.
Where'd the bearded man go?
I don't know.
Where is he?
I don't
Isn't
know.
anyone worried about him?
Let us know out there, please.
He was so busy for years.
And if he has a name, let us know if he has a name.
Yeah.
Maybe he does, and we just missed it online. I don't know. I didn't really research him
I
too
think that's
much.
part of his mystery.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I kind of don't want him to have a
Maybe
name.
he too was a Figment.
Or I think maybe his name is Dreamfinder.
Okay.
Now I'm looking at my notes, which is kind of crazy fun too. It's like
Those kooky people at Disney. Can I go into my number
You
3?
may.
All right. This is one that I don't wonder if it'll be on yours. This 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at Walt Disney World. They used to have Submarine Voyage at Disneyland, but I grew up going to the sub ride 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at Walt Disney World. I always remember that the near the finale where the giant squid would take the ship, and now, truth be told, the Finding Nemo sub ride is not really my favorite. I don't love the ride, but as a kid, I loved that ride, the sub ride. So I'd like to go back in time and ride that a couple times. Take my kids on it.
What year did it close?
It went from opened 1971 and closed 1994.
Yeah, okay.
So
I never went on it, I don't think.
But you were there
Or I
when
may
it was,
have gone on it when I was 3.
Right.
And I remember going and my brothers commenting, like we walked past where the empty lake was or
Right.
whatever replaced it at World.
Mhm.
And I remember them being like, that's where 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was. And I was like, what are you talking about? I have zero memory of it. And they loved it.
Right.
But I do not like Nemo. I have strong abhorrence for Nemo.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's terrible.
No,
I
remember being
don't
like,
love
I'm
it.
trapped on this ride. Get me off.
Right. Okay, so you have a real reaction to it.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that they destroyed a lot of the subs, but they kept 3 of the subs, one of which I think is somewhere in a backlot somewhere, maybe Disney's Hollywood Studios it is. But 2 of the remaining 2 subs from the one at Walt Disney World, they put in Castaway Cay, which is their private island from the Disney cruise in the Bahamas or the Caribbean. And one has since been, I believe, destroyed by hurricane-type weather, and one of them still is there as kind of a natural reef for the fish and the sea life and that sort of thing.
Oh, so they're underwater.
They sunk them. They sunk them underwater, and they're
So
reefs.
they brought entirely new subs in for Finding Nemo.
Oh, but these are the subs that were
just
at
the World ones.
Walt Disney World.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they did just
I think
refurbish the
I think
ones.
so.
Okay.
I think so. So,
But what replaced it at World? They have
remember
like a
reading
plaque there or something.
Yeah,
something
the
that my
lagoon's not
brother
there
was
anymore.
able to be like, that's where
I
20,000
think the set
Leagues
maybe
was.
the Mine Coaster, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster might be where it was. I could be wrong, but I feel like.
But it was in like Fantasyland.
Yeah, I think that's
okay.
where the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster is where it used to be. That's what I think.
Okay.
So I think so. So that's my number 3. What is your number 2? We're on number 2 now?
My number 2, yeah, you're going to give me a hard time about.
Probably, but I
don't
like
mind.
doing it. Okay, I'll be good, kind of, sort of.
As I was looking at things that have closed, this came up, and I realized how much I enjoy this attraction, and that is the American Idol experience in Disney's Hollywood Studios.
We talked about this in an earlier podcast, I think.
I'm sorry. It is so cool that someone can just walk into the park with their family, and little does little 16-year-old Anna Marie know.
AKA Briers.
No. Actually, I have a traumatic story where my family made me audition, but I can't even tell it. It's so traumatic.
Oh, now you have to tell it.
It's so true.
What's the story?
Well, it's basically they made me audition. I'm not a singer. I don't claim to be a singer. I tell my parents I enjoy singing like for fun, but I'm not like, ugh. And I don't even harbor dreams in the back of my mind. Like someday I'll be on a singing competition or cut an album. I don't harbor those dreams. Like I do enjoy singing like in the car or in the shower, like most people.
So they forced you to audition?
Forced me to audition.
And how'd that go? What happened?
And then my brother agreed to do it with me. One of my brothers. We went in, and the woman was nice. It was just bad. She was like nice, but was like, okay, well, I forget which. And she was recommending someone on YouTube that I could take singing lessons from by watching the YouTube videos. And
That's surprising. I would think they would do their best to make you feel good, even though you didn't do a good job at Disney. Wouldn't you think? Their mission wouldn't be to kind of knock you down.
I don't know.
Unless the Simon Cowell character.
I just remember leaving, and I was more upset. I wasn't upset with the woman or that it hadn't gone well. I was more upset with my family because they literally were like, we're not leaving until you go and audition.
Right.
And I was like, you guys need to let go of whatever dreams you have that I'm going to be a singer, because I'm not.
And focus on the actress part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because if it had been like a monologue audition or something.
We digress. So tell me why this one.
So that speaks volumes that I had that traumatic experience.
And you still
but I
like the show.
Still love it. Because I love being in the audience, and you have the power to vote. And then at the end of the day, the winners of all the shows compete in like a finale show, and every day they hand out a golden. It's called the Golden Fast Pass. The host makes a joke about it, and that's the ability to jump those crazy American Idol lines that you see, when they go to Dallas or New York. Of thousands and thousands of people, you literally can jump that line with that ticket. It's pretty cool. So it's neat that it actually had an end result. And then I was reading up, and there's 4 or 5 people that got those tickets and then went on to make the top 5. It was funny. Someone was from the UK or something, and then they could take that ticket back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool.
That's just cool that, I don't know, it makes the park feel, and you're suddenly these were people in the park that just came today to ride Tower of Terror, and they're suddenly star up for the day. It's
you might
fun.
not be able to answer this, but when they had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, what was the prize for winning Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Do you remember what you got?
I think I literally, that was during the 10 years I didn't go.
Because I never made it onto that.
That I would submit for and not have.
Yeah,
trauma.
that would be fun. But I'm curious because usually they'll give something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm guessing maybe it's the same thing. You get the winner for the day. Qualifies to audition to be on the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's look it up.
I don't know.
So was that in the same theater?
I think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't know. But it feels like it could be. I don't know. At Disney, the Hollywood Studios is not I don't get a good lay of that one.
Story.
Yeah, I'm sorry for traumatizing you.
It's okay.
My number 2. Am I okay for my number 2?
Oh. I was just going to say,
yeah,
it's part of the reason, too, that I was like, oh, my gosh, keep American Idol, because it's been replaced by, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration. And it's people's dreams coming true with singing or letting it go again. So, I don't know.
Giving the people what they want, I guess.
Yeah.
American Idol is ending this year, so.
Yes.
my number 2 is
that I'm okay with, by the way.
You're okay with that
to
one.
To clarify, American Idol can go off the air. I just enjoy the experience in the
Gotcha,
park.
okay.
I don't want, yeah.
My number 2 is the next one that goes out of the parks, and this is the one that I think you'll definitely. There was something, Pleasure Island. I'm sure you remember Pleasure Island. There was something that was open from 1989 to 2008 called the Adventurers Club. It was Pleasure Island celebrated New Year's Eve every night at midnight, but the Adventurers Club apparently was
like every night of the year.
Every night of the year, Pleasure Island, they did New Year's Eve at midnight. They celebrated New Year's.
That's amazing.
Isn't
I don't
crazy?
know. I've never went to Pleasure Island.
I think they stopped it around like 95 or maybe a little later. I'm not sure, but Adventures Club was kind of a place. I've heard that it's one of the most free-form places in Walt Disney World, where a lot of the actors and performers wanted to go because they really were given some more free reign than they were in other parts of the parks. And this place was a big kind of nightclub bar, and they had different rooms. And one of the rooms had masks, and a couple of the masks like talked to everybody. And then they had this like genie head effect that somebody talked in there. It just sounded like a really cool place and a little bit more adult. I never got to go there. I was there when Pleasure Island was around, but I missed that one. I missed that one. And it sounds really cool to hear people talk about it, to hear the fandom. There's a really pretty rabid fan base, people who just want to bring back the Adventures Club, hope it comes back. It just sounds like a really cool kind of Disney Does nightclub vibe. And it sounds really neat to me. So I really would like to have seen that and check that out. And I'm sorry I missed it. You know, I certainly was of age for a lot of the time it was there, not all of it, but I think that's kind of a cool thing that I would have liked to see and experience, and people really talk fondly of it. So I don't know. That's my number 2. Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm just intrigued. I don't know the Pleasure Island.
Look it up when you get a chance.
Island.
Check it out. And I don't know that it does it justice in the videos they show, but it's
located at Downtown Disney.
It was on Pleasure Island in Downtown Disney in Walt Disney World, which is Disney Springs now. But yeah,
Disney Springs looks.
It looks so cool, doesn't it?
Pretty neat. Yeah.
Considering it's a kind of mallish sort of thing, it looks really neat.
Yeah.
All right, your number 1, the big moment for Briers number 1
is drumroll. No, extraterrestrial alien encounter.
Oh, that's my number 1 as well.
No way, seriously?
Absolutely, it's my number 1, and I did go on it.
Who are we?
Right?
I did not go on it.
Okay, I went on it.
I'll
let you go.
Remember, so I'll give the facts. It opened in June 1995, and it closed in October 2003. So I would have had 2 times that I went in that period when it was open, and I did not go on it. But I remember vividly, my brother went on a trip with the Boy Scouts to Disney World, and I remember him coming back and talking about going on this ride. And talking in detail. It was like, I remember like having nightmares just in his description of it. I remember him saying like the alien comes out, it breathes on your neck, and it drools. I was like, how is this possible? And I think what appealed to me most going through everything, I'm almost like, I don't know if I would go on it if it existed, but I want it to exist because I think there needs to be something that's this terrifying in the parks.
It truly... And I mean this in a good way. It truly did not fit in Disney, and that was what was great about it. It was just, it was unexpected. It was scary without being totally, totally terrifying. And I think the problem is a lot of people, and it was clearly posted, do not bring your kids under 12 and under. And people brought their kids 12 and under into it. Oh, it's Disney. It can't be so bad. And then they terrified the living poopy out of them. It was just. And,
so you did write it.
Oh yeah, Terri and I wrote it, we in 2000, right? And we thought it was great. It was just like wonderful. We loved a lot of things, but it was so un-Disney,
terrifying.
But
in a great
so
way.
Scary. Yeah, it wasn't so scary. It wasn't that bad.
It sounds like most of the effects and what's scaring you is your own mind.
Right.
That it just goes to dark. Like most of the ride is in the
dark.
You
know, it's tough to be a bug.
Scares me so much when the things like go over your feet.
We still haven't taken my daughter back on it because that was the one thing she couldn't make it through.
So she would love extraterrestrial.
I think she might do okay. I think she might. Terry's saying no.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
Okay.
I think get her on like Space Mountain and like some other stuff first.
I think she would do Alien Encounter before she do Space Mountain.
This sounds like it's more in your head and like you're your own worst enemy creating the fear.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
I got.
I'll
And
have
that's
to
why I
ask
was
her.
like, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But but
I think I would want to go on it just because it's like what is this?
It was, look, I don't want to build it up too much because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know about that. But it was so un-Disney.
Exactly.
And that's what was really cool about it.
I loved reading, whoever was CEO at the time, was it Eisner?
It was
okay.
Eisner.
The soft open for it to him was not scary enough, and they closed it and then got what they got. And I know it had some issues with people dying from it, dying on it. But everything I read about that,
they had people dying on it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think there were 2 deaths related to like people had been on the ride, but both of them.
Is this one of those things like they came off and they had pre-existing conditions?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, one had like a brain aneurysm and something, had a heart condition.
Right.
So it's, yeah. And I mean, if you sit there and think about how many people go on these rides day in and day out, I mean, just in the time we're recording this episode, hundreds of people are going on each of the big rides. So.
I think you give a list of people you give a list of attractions that are now gone to people, more adult people, and I'm willing to bet that this is the one that they point to and say, this is the one I want back.
Yeah.
Because there's really, if it's a really great ride, they tend to keep them around. So this was one of the ones that really appealed to a little bit more mature audience, something different. That's gone. Everything else, I can see why. Yeah, it really is. It's a shame.
Because it sounds like it was such like
totally
a true experience.
Totally think they could bring it back at the parks.
Did I read correctly? Tyra Banks was one of your early, because I think you go through 2. It sounds like the queue too was well done. There were like 2 rooms.
I think Phil Hartman a part of it too.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
I read that as well.
Okay.
And then so it was replaced by Stitch's Great Escape in 2006, which is someone hilariously put on the internet, Stitch's Great Mistake. I don't know if that was a mistake in the typing.
Not as bad as the under new management Tiki Room, but I think people really missed Alien Encounter.
Yeah,
so.
and that's when they messed the castle up like Stitch had messed it up to celebrate. But it does sound like, I mean, I guess they got enough complaints or problems with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this the one too that required had air sickness bags, or was that the one in Epcot? There's more of a spinning action.
I don't know. I don't think this one did. I do know that they made sure you were strapped down, like it was like you were locked in, so you couldn't move, and that obviously added to the experience of I am trapped in here and there's something breathing on my neck.
Would the actual room like spin some?
No, I don't think so. It was air effects. It was water. It was kind of liquid effect. It was visual effects. It was.
It sounds like a lot of it was you and your own mind too. I mean, the effects were impressive, but it's all like mental.
But they did it so well.
The alien has broken out.
Yeah, it's a ride that should be around today, and they could modify it in different ways, but it should have been around today. And I'll just never
forget my 9-year-old self and my brother coming home being like, no, like an alien broke out and like breathed on my neck. And
was he a surfer dude or something?
Yeah, I guess. That's what your brother sounds like when he's in middle. Yeah, actually, probably did sound like that in middle school. That's all middle schoolers sound, right?
Sure.
7th grade math. Homework, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go with that, Briers.
Thank you.
Anyway,
that's my impression of a
18-year-old boy. That is nice. So let me a couple honorable mentions real quick. Is Spectro Magic Parade it ran until 2010. It's I don't miss it so much in the fact that we now have the Paint the Night, but it was a really cool nighttime parade. And another thing that Terri and I saw when we were there, and we came out of Liberty Tree Tavern, and we're on the porch and had the perfect view for this awesome parade. It was so I have fond memories of that.
This is at World?
It was at World. You mentioned Rocket Rods, and
I did. A classic.
It's still around. It's still around Walt Disney World, but not at Disneyland. The Swiss Family Treehouse.
Yes.
Right?
R.I.P.
I'm
sorry, Tarzan. You don't matter enough to replace the coolest family ever.
That's a nostalgia thing, but it was kind of cool to have those water buckets and that
movie, everyone wanted to live in a house and just like abandon their lives and go have pet elephants.
Yeah.
So you can't take that away from children.
Yeah.
So it's still the same at World.
It's still at World, but it's not at my understanding, it's still at World and it's not at Disneyland
And it's not like Tarzan had a reboot or Tarzan had a movie coming out.
It did. Yeah. Animated film.
That's when they replaced it that long ago?
Yes, it was the animated film, the Phil Collins, I Think You Belong in My Heart.
I thought they replaced it like more recently after. I know that film.
No, it was...
Again, not a great...
In Disneyland, I believe it was...
Not a classic.
I think it was 1962 to 1999, I believe.
when it came out. Okay.
Yeah, I think it came out around that.
See, I only knew World, and it stayed at World.
Right.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I think it was 1999. For some reason I have it written down.
That sounds about right.
2007, but that seems way too late. I think it's 1999. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely
1999.
90s
Yeah,
that Tarzan came out.
So anyway, those are a couple honorable mentions, and you hit some of the Epcot things that I thought about for sure too as well. So
look at us.
Nice.
Complimentary.
That's right. So if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever,
your own top 5
at the Disney Click on Twitter and
at the Disney Click on Instagram.
There you go.
And use the hashtag top 5 Disney Click. Was that casual?
That was good.
Okay, great.
Good.
Sit down, movie lovers. Here comes movie reviews.
All right, so now we have kind of I call it Disney bits or something. It's kind of news-ish. I don't know.
Bits.
I don't know. I got some Disney bits in me. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I do. I'm going to leave this alone.
Let it settle.
The Good Dinosaur. You and I both saw The Good Dinosaur recently,
yes.
and we have not talked about it.
No.
On purpose, so we could kind of let our thoughts flow out here. Briar, since you're the real Pixar person here, I'm going to let you have first crack, and I might interject a little bit.
Yeah, feel free to interject. I don't mind.
Okay.
The Good Dinosaur. Such an interesting movie. My gut reaction leaving was like, it didn't seem like Pixar in a lot of ways, story-wise. Visually, I thought it was gorgeous. Some of the things I loved were the visuals, the music. I really loved the score, the Western theme spin, like an old-timey, like Clint Eastwood Western, and the accents of the characters. And the boy and his dog storyline flipped on its head was really original, and the way that they found for this boy to act like a dog. I had some struggles. The story was a bit too simplistic. I wanted it to be more up to the Pixar standards of challenging adults. And I kept waiting for it to pick up in pace. And one thing that I really struggled with too was none of the secondary characters popped for me outside. I mean, I loved Paw, but there wasn't like a Bing Bong character that you leave loving. That's kind of my...
Right.
I just threw it all up there.
No, it's all out there.
Okay.
I thought that I'm still kind of thinking about it. It's not
yes.
Cars. It's not like Cars 2 area for me, but it's certainly not Toy Story, Ratatouille, Incredibles.
Oh, no.
I think it's a little bit slow in the beginning. I was kind of waiting for the story to move along. I thought they spent a lot of time.
I liked the beginning. The family, that was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I just thought it lingered on that too much. I got the point. Perhaps I was waiting for the tragedy, the separation to happen, because you kind of know that happens. I thought that the villainous characters were a little bit kind of rammed into the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, I like the pterodactyl type things. Spoiler alert. If we don't mean to be too spoilerly, what is that a word here? But I thought there was just no true villain that I loved. It was just kind of
outside of the main two, outside of the boy and the dinosaur, there were no characters. I would give the T-Rex was a little fun, and his kids.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're fine.
Right.
They're like mid-range.
I like the pterodactyls. How they use at first you think they're good, and then you realize they're up to bad news. But it was but it wasn't meaty enough for me.
That's what I mean. I go back again. My example is Bing Bong. I don't know. I love you.
Yeah, Bing Bong I didn't love as much as most. I think.
Right,
but I
most
understand.
people. I mean, he's now he has his own books and
I like the
versions
message
of him.
And what Bing Bong was, I do appreciate, despite whatever my feelings on the character.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It brings you to
it's a beautiful thought. Yes.
When he lets Joy go.
Yes.
I can't. Okay.
Yeah.
But so there was nothing that struck at that level the same. So I kept waiting for it to get more complex, or for a bigger obstacle.
I think it comes together. I think it comes together in the end, perhaps maybe better than you feel. Because I did feel some emotion at when, spoiler alert, when
spoiler alert,
let's count
turn
1,
off,
2, 3.
turn
Fast forward 30 seconds here.
Go listen to Adele.
Give yourself fast forward 30 seconds to a minute to be safe. When he has to let the boy back to his family.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not his family.
Well, okay, his people like him.
Okay,
people
I
like
just wanted
him.
to clarify.
Yeah, people like him.
Well, I left the people I saw the movie with. We had a whole discussion. I was like, okay, I need to know that was not his family, and I
Right.
think they made it clear by having
White
vastly different hair
right.
and eyes,
Right.
which I did love. I don't know if this was intentional, but the boy's eyes are green, just like the dinosaur.
Yeah, I
and
noticed that too.
I really liked that.
All right, so we can come back. We can
moment.
stop talking about the
Okay.
spoiler part. Yeah. So anyway, I thought it did have heart, but I thought the journey to get there was a bit simplistic and not
Yeah.
as layered as some other Pixar films can be.
And
I
not
would,
as many characters. You usually leave
Yeah.
every Pixar film with 5 characters
Right.
that you're talking about or thinking about with memorable lines.
Yeah.
And the
It was
T-Rex
kind of
really had all of them.
it was kind of a barren wasteland in terms of not the story,
Literally
but just,
and
but
figuratively.
it just there wasn't too much things to keep track of. There wasn't too many characters. That said, if
It's
you're
very
if you're a
charming.
Pixar fan, go see it. I would tell you to go
Yeah.
see it
Yeah.
for sure. I don't
And
think
it's
it was
very
bad.
sweet.
I just wasn't up to what I was
Yeah.
hoping to be. I came in with lower expectations. I was hoping they would far exceed them.
Same.
And I liked it. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel
Yeah,
now. After
same, same.
So okay. So
But
we're-
I also, I want to see it again. I was a little fatigued from Thanksgiving food.
Sure.
I was definitely a little like groggy watching it. But yeah, I just
better
wanted
than
more.
I'll give it a better than most of the animated stuff out there.
Yeah, which just
so
shows.
I don't want to
Even
come down too
Pixar
negative
on its weaker side, Pixar on a bad day is still better than.
than a lot of other stuff out there. Right. So
DreamWorks,
don't you're gonna say DreamWorks again. DreamWorks is not that. I like DreamWorks. I feel
Go work for them, Rick.
I like DreamWorks. I like Disney. I like.
Yeah.
I just saw Mr. Peabody in Sherman. Is
For the
Sherman
first time?
No, I saw it again. My kids are watching, but on a road trip, and it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie.
Did you see? Did you catch all the previews before? Because they had previews from all these animated film companies, which was really interesting, like Blue Sky and
on which
For
thing?
Good Dinosaur. So we
Yeah,
saw about
oh, yeah.
5
Well, I like-
different movies.
I think I've tweeted it about the Secret Life of Pets is like one of my favorite trailers out there right
yeah,
now. I love that trailer.
I'm into that because I love
and I
dogs so much.
I think it's
so
a
I'm
great. I love
excited.
looking at my son just cracks up every time the mixer scratches that dog's back and he turns
Yeah,
around.
that's
I
cute.
get pleasure out of seeing my son laughing hysterically
Yeah.
at that. So
Which
yeah.
is interesting what they chose to show, and I just saw this. They got it got stronger. It was the Secret Life of Pets. That's it, and then Zootopia, and the quality. It was just interesting to see.
I
was
like
very,
Zootopia too. I really like the trailer
Yeah.
as well. The sloth. There's
Oh my gosh, those
yeah.
sloths.
We'll talk about
yeah.
that in later, I'm sure. But it's
I think Disney and Pixar is still the standard in animation.
yeah. But I think there's I agree, but I also think there's
other ones,
things.
and they've gotten stronger.
Yeah. So I'm not so quickly to dismiss DreamWorks as I
They
understand.
put out a lot.
Okay, I like DreamWorks a little bit more. So anyway, we'll move on, and I want to talk just a few tidbits about some Disneyland news, and then we can move on to our quiz here. But it was recently reported. This is rumors. This is not confirmed from MiceChat. MiceChat.com is a great source for Disney news and facts. We're not affiliated with them. I really like them, and there is some rumors going on about changes at Disney California Adventure, and we talked way back when about Marvel coming into the parks, and now the latest rumor is that they're going to open a Marvel Studios, or I don't know, it'd be a Marvel Land in California Adventure in 2 phases. The first phase being a meet and greet and a merchandising opportunity. Not a big deal for me. They want to try to open that before Star Wars Land opens to try to balance the crowds. I guess I don't see that really being a big draw. Oh, wait a minute! Forget Star Wars Land. We're going to go over and do a meet and greet with.
But this is what you wanted, and you thought it would alleviate crowds.
Well, not just the meet and greet and the merchandising, but what comes in phase 2, I think will help. And that's like supposedly a mega coaster. I'm guessing a mega indoor coaster, the details, but in
like
phase
rock and
2,
roller coaster?
yeah, something like that. That'll come a couple years later.
Yeah.
After Star Wars Land opens, and that'll be part of the Marvel Land. That will help.
I think it'll just bring more crowds.
Maybe. But they do have.
Like, I think
maybe
It'll just if things
possibly.
taper off from Star Wars and then a new ride opens.
Right. Well, they frankly should be opening at the same time, but I understand why they're not
Right.
doing that. But I think that's pretty cool they're doing that. I'm curious how they're going to do that, and I love the idea of if it's like a rock and roller coaster or something of that ilk. We've talked about how much we like that ride, so I think that's kind of, this is all rumors, so we don't know.
Right. It's interesting because this was your dream.
I mean, I would like it to be a little bit more of a fully realized land, and the details aren't out. I don't know how big it's going to be.
There's no word on like when they would formally announce that this were going to happen.
No. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Tentative
I could see them doing it like at the next D23 convention in a year and a half.
Right.
I could see that being the next spot they do it. I don't know, but it's drawing board. But they put it on the coaster, and things were put on hold this summer, and then apparently the rumor is they're supposedly getting re-upped again to do that again. So the other thing is a little, not quite as big, but probably a little sooner is Downtown Disney. They might turn it into Downtown Disney Springs in Disneyland, similar to Walt Disney World. I don't know if they'll call it Downtown Disney Springs, but the House of Blues is moving out, I believe, by the end of this year or early next year. And then what are they going to do? They're going to do a major facelift. There's also it kind of needs. And there's a place behind the House of Blues where there was for expansion that they never did. They haven't done yet.
There was going to be a Disney Quest.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So
I never got to go to Disney Quest.
Yeah, either did I.
That could be an honorable mention for me.
So anyway, that there's talk of they're finally going to expand
and do it
and improve Downtown Disney.
Or just do something else though, not Disney Quest.
Not Disney Quest. I don't think Disney Quest is dead. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think it's sort of you can go to your home computer and do a lot of what you do at Disney Quest
exactly.
now. So I think that's kind of cool that we might actually get a little bit more fully realized Downtown Disney or Disney Springs.
That's one thing. It's interesting. Until this announcement was made, I just always took Downtown Disney for what it was. But reading about there being a potential facelift or changes, you're like, wait a second, like that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Now that California Adventures finally kind of finished most of its big renovations, I guess, unless it's getting a Marvel edition possibly. But I mean, the parks have really they've been revamped. It's time for Downtown Disney.
I mean, I would rather see park stuff done than Downtown Disney. But that said, I think Downtown Disney could use.
It is a week.
It just needs to be a little bigger. It needs a little bit more variety. I think they're all exploring
drawing
that.
You there.
Not really. I mean, I like we like a couple of the restaurants there. I like a couple of the restaurants there.
I'm trying to think. What's there?
Tortilla Joe's, people like Jazz Kitchen. People like Jazz
Starbucks
Kitchen.
there. I'm not just saying this. No, literally, the Starbucks that is new and very nice.
Right, and it's very unique to Downtown Disney because there's no Starbucks anywhere else in the world, right? So yeah, that's a good reason to go Downtown Disney.
It's a really cool Starbucks.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
I was serious. I'm serious.
I know you are, and I'm weeping a little bit for you that you're serious about that.
No,
Let's
it's a beautiful
Starbucks.
It's like
It's earthy.
Purposed wood. Yeah.
See it. It's wonderful.
And there's a chalkboard for kids to draw.
It is the reason to go to Downtown Disney.
Sorry, it allows kids to show creativity.
Yeah. So we should go to Downtown Disney for the Starbucks.
I mean, there's not much else.
Okay. All right. So that's our little Disney bits reviews, whatever you want to call it.
Disney bits.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of just hits me. Anyway, so
okay.
We'll go on to the next thing.
And now it's time for Stump Rick, Stump Briers.
Okay, so now for our next segment, we have a special guest.
Hello.
Terri Lubaroff. And we've done in the past, we've stumped each other or attempted to. We've stumped Rick and stumped Briers. And now we're going to stump Rick and Briers together.
All
Terry's
at the same time.
Yes.
Yes. Are you guys ready?
As we'll ever be.
Yes.
These are going to be tough questions today. I'm not going easy on either of you.
Remember, I know where you live. So.
I do too.
I'm going to keep one eye open at night.
Right.
All right. So
this is in celebration of Walt Disney's birthday on December 5th.
His 114th?
Oh, well, actually, that's my first question. What year was Walt Disney born?
114 years ago. Do the math, Rick.
No, it's all you.
It's on you. Okay, 100 years ago would be 1915. So,
was he 1901?
Yeah, 1901.
Right.
Okay.
You guys passed elementary school level math. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's a question from your list today. We'll see how well you know the things that you were talking about. What was the original name for the extraterrestrial alien encounter?
Well, it was Mission to Mars before but this is for the ride. What were
For
they
the
gonna
ride.
call
Yeah,
it?
the original name for the ride.
Aliens? I don't know. Alien Encounter?
That's what I said. Alien Encounter is what I thought it was.
No.
What is it?
I don't know.
Nostromo. Do you guys know what that's in reference to?
Oh.
Oh, what is it?
Any
It's
idea what-
Is
a
it
NASA
from the
NASA
Aliens
thing?
film?
It is.
Oh, okay. The first
I
Alien.
don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's a reference to the spacecraft
Oh.
from the
Ah.
1979
Interesting. Do they-
movie Alien.
Do they own
That's
the rights
cool.
to Alien?
Well, they had to. I'm sure they had
They
to get the
must
licensing
have.
rights.
Right, okay.
And it's on the Great Movie Ride. It's
Yeah,
a whole
that's right.
segment.
The whole
So there's
segment.
got to be a Disney partnership ownership.
And James Cameron is doing
There.
Pandora, so
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
true.
Well, Ridley Scott.
Avatar.
Ridley Scott did the
I'm
first
pumped.
Alien. James Cameron did the second Aliens. So okay.
Okay. So speaking of big movie directors, what movie director was in the Disneyland park on the day it opened?
Great question, Terry. Let us consult one another.
Walt Disney himself.
No, not
That's
counting
good.
Disney.
That's good.
We can't count
Trick
I feel like
Disney. This is a modern major movie director.
I would think like Alfred
who
Hitchcock.
happened to be in the park on the day.
Oh,
it
like as a
opened.
young child?
Possibly.
Like
Steven Spielberg.
or Martin Scorsese,
You're close.
Clint Eastwood.
No, it's
Who's
closer.
old and still alive and famous?
Somebody
George
still.
Lucas.
There it is.
Yes.
Came
Yes.
to me.
George Lucas
I did not
was
know that.
11, I think, when
Wow.
he when the
He's
Opening
local in
day.
California.
He went opening day.
he was there
That's
on
cool.
opening day.
Wow,
as
I
a
never knew that.
child.
Learned
That's
something
neat.
new. That's
Isn't
a good
that
one.
cool? I mean, he was there on opening day, and now Disney owns his like masterpiece.
Yeah, that's
It's so
amazing.
cool.
And we're thankful for it at this point.
Yes, indeed.
You saw
Yeah.
You saw
we'll
the
see.
prequels.
To be seen. To be
Okay.
seen. We have what? 14 days? 13.
Can't be as bad as the Phantom Menace, or the love
I-
story,
which we just
or the
reviewed.
or the
So
love
half as good as
story
the
in the Clone
trailer.
Wars,
To the
or
Phantom-
not the Clone Wars, the Attack
Yeah,
of
and
the
to
Clones.
the Phantom Menace's credit, our kids like that better than Star Wars, Episode 4.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, to-
only one of them
Yeah,
has seen
yeah.
that. Yeah, well,
No,
I still will
it's
keep my kids because I
heartbreaking
have
to me.
to, but I'm debating maybe letting them go because of that. But
Okay,
that's a
but don't
different
you
story.
think that trailers, you can garner a lot from a trailer? And if it's as good as this trailer looks, it's going to be good.
I hope
mean,
so.
is
I hope
that
so.
pinning hopes on it that are false?
I'm
I mean,
trying to keep my expectations
I'm sorry.
reasonable.
And JJ, we trust. I believe in him. No?
What?
Outside
I
of-
do.
well, I
I
don't-
love JJ
Yeah.
Abrams.
Yeah, I
he's
think
one of my
I think
favorites.
he's one of
I
my
think
favorites.
he's
Everything
I think he's
done,
great.
Everything
I
he's
think he's
touched.
great, but Super 8 was not that good of a film. I'm sorry.
Disagree.
I love a lot of what he's
yeah.
done. Super 8 just was
Disagree.
not that great
okay,
of a film.
new question,
Okay.
please.
Okay, next question. This goes to another one of the earlier top 5. Who directed Body Wars?
Oh. my God.
Oh, okay.
It's someone famous.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
Spielberg.
it's
it's not Coppola did Captain EO. Francis Ford Coppola did Captain EO. Martin Scorsese.
Wait, what year did I say it opened? In the 80s or 70s, 80s, 83? Who was like
Wasn't
big
it
in
a-
the 80s? Is it George again? Lucas?
No,
Robert Zemeckis?
I don't think you guys are going to get it.
No? Okay.
What, can you
good.
give us a hint of what genre they're known for or something?
He is known to be an actor in a major science fiction genre.
An actor in a major science fiction genre?
Well, I mean, in a major science
like
fiction
a,
franchise.
franchise.
Yeah.
So
Leonard
he's
Leonard
an
Nimoy?
actor?
Yes.
Yes.
Leonard Nimoy.
Fuck. All right. Well,
That was
do I get a
good.
quarter of a point for that?
Yeah, you get a quarter of a
Well,
point.
Okay.
we do. It's a team effort.
Oh, sorry. We get a quarter of a
what-
We're
point.
in it together, Rick.
Sorry.
And for a bonus point, what Oscar-nominated actress was in the Body Wars?
I never went on Body Wars, so this is challenging. Oscar nominated?
Nominated. She did not win.
Oh, there's so many. that have
There are
been
4 every
nominated
year.
and not one, yeah.
Jane Fonda?
Nope.
She's
I'll
won,
give it.
hasn't
I'll
she?
give it to you because this is just a bonus. Elizabeth Shue. She was in it.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was told I look like her once.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't see it.
Your hair's got to go lighter and shorter.
Maybe she's
and maybe,
blonde and kind of
right.
wavy. Yeah, no, there was someone who knew me who was like convinced, but
Okay.
maybe it's just
Ready?
a single opinion.
Ready for your next question?
Yes.
What did Walt Disney die of?
Oh, people always think it's lung cancer.
Yeah, it wasn't lung cancer. He's dead, Mason.
I actually did research
Was
on that
it-
for this quiz. He's not cryogenically frozen.
No, that's
he
a
is
myth.
actually buried.
True or false?
And you know
Oh,
what? I
gosh.
have to. So I'm looking for the broad answer here. I didn't get into the specific medical.
It wasn't.
Like the
It wasn't
exact
cancer. It wasn't
thing.
cancer. Was it like pneumonia or something?
What's your answer, Briers?
Because
I think you know this.
No, I know it sounds. It's not.
Pixar envy. I said Briers would know it. So
Funny.
Is that a new
Pixar came
psychological
after Walt
disorder?
died, Rick.
You
get your timeline straight.
You have Pixar
Let's
envy.
see.
I'm looking
Gosh,
for
I
the
know.
broad
Once you say it, I'm
diagnosis.
gonna
Broadly, what did he die of?
like a bad
death.
cold or something. Like it was like a he got like a virus and
Lung cancer.
it
Oh,
was
it was
lung
cancer.
cancer.
It was lung
We
cancer.
both said it, and then
Well,
we were
yeah,
like,
no, I thought it was something different.
I
but
was like,
interesting,
we were
okay.
both like, well, it wasn't lung cancer. What could it have been? Okay,
We
yeah.
focus on the positive here at the Disney Click, Terry.
He died of happiness, of joy. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
How many Academy Awards did Walt Disney win during his lifetime, not including honorary Academy Awards?
He didn't win any. Okay, he won one or two.
I thought he won.
Did he win a
Mary,
lot?
Mary Poppins. He won something for Mary Poppins,
He got an honorary for Snow White,
but it's not honorary. Just
but
I
did he
wanna s-
also win one?
I'd say
Three.
one. I say
I say
one.
3.
22.
Wait. For what though? For what?
So is that what like the
He won-
Disney
so
company?
Producer.
He,
produ-
yeah, everything that he ever won. In total, he won 22 Academy Awards
I
and
should've known
4
this.
honorary Academy Awards.
Okay.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
All right.
that
All right.
is.
Yeah, we're way off there.
Yeah.
I feel ashamed that I.
I
couldn't
thought it
get
was a
that.
trick question.
Yeah, I did
So
too.
I was confused,
Yep.
but that's legitimate. That's good.
We don't have
There
a
you
good
go.
excuse.
But go Walt. Well done.
Isn't that amazing? I think he's like the most award-winning person ever in the
Yeah.
history of the Academy Awards with 22.
Yeah.
I
we
know
should've
the
known that better.
fashion designer is up there.
Fashion
And there's
designer.
a
Costume design.
Yes.
I don't-
Yes.
yeah, I
And a
don't think it's
composer
22.
that's won a lot. There's a composer that's like killed it.
John Williams.
John
Yes,
Williams?
John Williams has a lot.
I love
Yeah,
John.
we're
Right?
big
He's-
John Williams fans.
He's my favorite.
He's great.
Okay, so what was the last animated film Walt Disney personally supervised?
Oh,
Okay. I feel like I just
okay.
saw. Oh gosh. Was there a princess involved?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint.
No, if you
It's
didn't-
relevant to next year.
Jungle Book.
That's
Yes.
what that's what I. Okay.
Yes.
That hint gave away
Yeah.
because I knew that.
And
yeah.
who's directing the live-action
John
version?
Favreau.
Oh, you're so good.
Oh.
For in the now, I'm a little better.
Who
The
also
history, I'm having a hard time.
directed Iron Man? Woo!
And Iron Man too.
Yes.
Eh.
And he's best friends with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, I like him as a
It's
director.
weird.
I like
No
John.
randomness
I
about
like him as a
Jon
director.
Favreau.
He's a good
Okay, here's
director.
another jungle-related question. At Disneyland, what is the Jungle Cruise called during the holiday season?
The Jingle
Oh,
Cruise.
yeah,
Oh, that
Yes.
was good. You knew that.
We talked
one.
about that on our holiday
Yep,
episode.
we did.
Have you
How-
done it as the Jingle Cruise?
I had not yet.
Yeah, I
not
haven't
not
do
this
that.
year. A couple
Haven't
years ago, I
either.
did, but
Yeah.
yeah.
How long did it take to build Disneyland?
Oh.
From groundbreaking to completion.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just I mean I don't know. Okay.
Get specific on me. I'm not sure.
I'm saying
Just in general.
I'm saying 3 years.
I don't think it was that long. I think it was actually pretty fast. Like 15 months or something.
You're closer, Briers. It only took 1 year to build Disneyland.
Really?
Yep.
I
Okay, wow,
remember
that's surprising.
always
It
reading
actually
it was very
took-
fast.
Yeah, it actually took longer to build it's leaving my mind now. I
California
can't even-
Adventure?
No, it took longer to build one ride.
Oh.
Splash Mountain.
No, one of those. Yeah,
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
No, the other one.
Thunder Mountain.
Okay.
Mountain.
We're
You'll
running out
get
of
there
mountains here.
eventually.
Matterhorn Mountain.
I think I should have had caffeine today. What was the cost of a one-day ticket to the Magic Kingdom when it opened in 1971?
It was equivalent of about like $25 today.
No.
When Magic Kingdom when it opened when?
Oh, Magic Kingdom.
Magic
oh,
Kingdom.
oh,
in
oh,
1971,
oh.
what was the cost of a
20
one-day ticket?
$29.
What do you think?
I don't even think it's that much. I'll say $14.
$3.50.
Really? Well, they had the e-tickets.
Right.
Right. They had.
That is
you paid various
crazy.
amounts.
Isn't that
anywhere from,
crazy?
I'm
like,
sorry, I have to go
50
get in my time
yeah.
machine because
You'd
I'm in the
pay-
wrong decade.
You'd
Bye.
pay anywhere from like 50 cents to $5 per ride, depending on what the ride was. So like,
So you had to pay for
well, like
for
a carousel
Space
would
Mountain.
be an A ticket would be 50 cents, and
Right.
then the bigger ride.
You pay
I don't
more.
know what example bigger ride when it
Until
opened.
it's up to
would
E.
be, would be an E ticket.
Yeah.
The more thrilling rides. Yep. So
Wow. Whew.
So how much is the most expensive pass today? Which is the Premier Pass, which allows you to go to both Disneyland or the Disneyland parks in Anaheim and the Magic Kingdom parks in Walt Disney
I think
World.
I think we're at it. Oh, the
I
Premier
would
Pass.
guess
that
The
goes-
Premier
I
Pass
would guess
where you can go
Florida.
$1,200.
Yeah, I
Florida
think-
and California.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I
1,200.
think it's up there. I think it's.
Because
yeah.
I know that the top annual pass
Or
is
now like about
is 800.
I think it's gone up even
Just
more.
the Disneyland one.
I thought it was even more now though.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's 8
Yeah,
or
I'm
9.
saying I think it's about 1,200.
So I'm gonna say
too.
1,200.
So you guys are close. It's $1,439
That's a good
Yeah.
per
Yeah.
person. Isn't that crazy?
But think of
lot of
think of the benefits.
That's for Florida and
You can go in all the parks on any day.
and you fly for free between the parks too. That's
yes,
included.
you're given a
on
jet.
Disney Airline.
You're given your own jet.
I'm making this up. It just sounds really good.
We had different I was just giving you a plane.
Right?
Because mine made
Yeah.
sense. So your own jet, no way, but
$1,400.
free, yeah.
Where was John Lasseter born?
Ooh,
Briers.
I know this is on me. What is his life? Gosh, where was he?
You're the John. Not to put the pressure on you, but you are the John Lasseter
In California.
person here.
Yes.
I feel like it's
Near Orange County.
I feel like it's San
No.
Francisco area.
Like Pasadena.
You're sitting in the heart of it.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know
That's
if that,
right.
yeah.
I wouldn't know that.
that.
I don't-
Hollywood, California.
I don't stalk
I know
out
he
people's
worked at
lives
the
and where they live. You know,
parks.
I'm not that crazy.
Oh, 'cause
Me
my next-
either.
My next question for you, Rick,
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
specifically,
Yeah.
where was Thurl Ravenscroft born?
That's your best friend, Rick. Thurl. Thurl's a jack
Los
of all
Angeles.
trades.
Nebraska. of
Nebraska.
course.
Oh,
Duh.
okay. Should get
Everyone
that.
knows
Norfolk.
that.
Thurl Ravencroft, many voices around Disneyland, and
He's a
yeah,
gem.
He's
that one.
he's everywhere.
Thurl.
How many sisters does Ariel of The Little Mermaid have? And
7
what do their names have in common?
is 7 or 8.
How many sisters does Ariel have?
Is it more than that?
No, it might be 6 because 6 plus Ariel, 7 total.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just counting her entire
Yeah.
family.
And what do they have
My
in common?
bad.
What do their names have in
Oh,
common?
They're all in a song that they get introduced.
Well, that's
to.
true,
They,
but
they
that's
all
not
they
the
all
answer
live
I'm
under the
looking
sea. They all have King Triton as a father.
They're all
I'm 3 for 3
Those
so
are not
far.
the answers
They're
I'm
all
looking
like-
for.
Okay.
like fauna or something. It's all like a type of plant or gosh, what is it? When you say it,
While I like mermaids, I can't say I know too much about the sisters.
They all start with the letter A.
Oh.
It's Aquata, Adrena, Arista, Atina, Adela, and Alana, and Ariel.
they picked the right one to make it about. Adina's movie or one of the others, like some of those names.
Adina. Can you imagine
Aquana's here.
Sebastian saying Adina? Ariel sounds a lot
Aquana's
better than
collecting
Adina.
spoons today.
Right.
In Beauty and the Beast. In Beauty
here we go.
and the
Okay,
Beast.
I feel
Okay, this
better.
is a good one. This is for you.
Well, let's
in
join.
Beauty and the Beast, Gaston is how big?
Oh, that's your guy. You got this.
Oh, well, she said it was
Gotta
your
get the-
favorite.
like, how tall
He's
is
roughly
he?
as big as a barge.
How tall is he?
Yes! You got
Oh, I
it.
was
Yeah, I
gonna
wasn't sure it was
say
a trick question, but-
6'7".
Yeah, that was not going to go either way.
He's tall.
I am married to you.
He's
I
brawny.
kind of know where you're going with that. I had an advantage there, but all right.
Wasn't that your number one animated?
That's song.
Oh, song.
Song. And my favorite film, the animated film, Disney film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does Captain Hook get killed at the end of Peter Pan?
He has to walk off the plank and the alligator eats him?
That seems to be. The obvious answer is Tick Tock Croc, but that's not how he gets killed. I
haven't seen these movies in
cannot.
so long.
Yeah,
Wait.
I that's one that I can't remember. I'm not going to pretend.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hook, the Steven Spielberg one.
No.
too. It's throwing
This
me
is
off.
Peter Pan.
Right,
The
right,
animated
right.
movie. How does he get killed at the end?
To the Indians?
Nope.
No.
I have stumped you.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
not,
so excited. It's a trick question.
He
does
doesn't.
not
He
die.
doesn't die.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's.
That's
I mean, I'd like to claim
challenging.
that. Oh, you silly Terry, but I probably couldn't have answered that anyway. So
I formed a false. I had his death ready.
So who was the first Disney feature character to speak directly to the audience?
Oh, is it in
Bert?
Mary Poppins?
Oh.
Before that.
Jiminy Cricket.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jiminy
Jiminy Cricket. There you go.
Wow, Rick,
Wish
that was
upon
good.
a
You
star.
had that.
That was good.
Okay. At Magic Kingdom, what are the hands of the clock on the Haunted Mansion ride?
What are the hands in Magic Kingdom?
Mm-hmm. I think they're the same at Disneyland,
Yeah, are they
actually.
they're skeleton hands or they're devil's tails? I have a
No.
vision in my head. What are the hands on the grandfather clock?
Yeah.
Something with Mickey's tail or
Mm-mm.
No, it's definitely
Nope.
not. It's. I remember it being like it's like. Looks like pitchforks or
No.
or devil's tail. What are
You don't
what are they?
know.
No, I should know this.
yeah, this is you.
Bony
Haunted
fingers.
Mansion.
Bony fingers.
Bony
Okay. All
fingers.
right. I was gonna say hands, but yeah, I don't
It's
know.
just the fingers.
Okay. Should have gotten that.
Okay. What is the abominable snowman of the Matterhorn named?
What is the abominable snowman?
Is it public knowledge?
Yes.
Abby.
That's a good guess, but no.
The one,
Karen.
the abominable snowman in the Matterhorn, right? In the Matterhorn, you said.
In the Matterhorn.
Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Yep. The Matterhorn.
I would have guessed Abby, but not Abby.
I have no idea. Whitey?
Furry,
It's white. No.
Puffy.
scary,
Joe.
growly.
Bot.
I don't.
His name's Harold.
Harold. I should have known that. Harold.
Harold.
Okay, I should have known a lot of these
Harold.
things.
Wait,
We're not
Harold,
doing
do they-
so well
I know.
here.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm so surprised.
I'm doing terribly.
I only have 2 more questions.
I
All right, you
Thank
ready?
God.
Let's see.
Okay.
And these
Redeem
are hard
ourselves.
ones. Let's see if
Oh,
you can get these. In the Magic Kingdom, in Liberty Square, there is a 100-year-old tree. It's an old southern live oak tree that holds 13 lanterns. What do the 13 lanterns represent?
In Walt Disney World.
In Walt Disney
Square.
World.
did something happen in 1913 with Walt?
Nope.
13 original colony. States,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
it's the 13 original colonies.
Okay.
Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em. Do you
What?
remember the
I
song?
don't
No.
know.
Sing it.
Scout 'em. I can't sing now. American Idol. You're out. You don't get the golden ticket.
And fun fact, in Liberty Square, there are no bathrooms in keeping with the time period.
That's cool.
They just have there's a hole in the
That's
ground that you
neat.
kind of
They're like,
squat.
go out
and-
by the tree. That's why they have
Right.
that big old tree there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that next time we're there. See what
Yeah,
happens.
let's see what happens.
Right.
Okay, this is the last question. Let's see if between the two of you can get it. Disneyland has only been closed 3 unscheduled times
Oh.
since it opened. What were the 3 times?
One of them was Walt's death, I believe.
Nope.
No. Okay.
They were for, okay, one was September 11th.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
One was a natural disaster of some kind.
Yes. Do you know which one?
Oh, the
Northridge.
earthquake.
Northridge
The Northridge
quake?
Yes.
earthquake.
Northwood. And when? Do
One
you
more.
remember when that was?
1995 or 94?
94.
94. Okay.
Oh gosh,
The
what
last
was the
one.
other one? I remember because I've read this before.
It is the death of someone, but it wasn't Walt Disney.
Not his wife.
No.
The death of
Not Roy.
of a president?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
The National Day of Mourning for
Do you
President
guys
John
start
F.
with one?
Kennedy.
I'm surprised they didn't close on
I
the
got
day he passed
one.
away. That's surprising to me.
Well, why would they close? It was his favorite thing ever.
I guess
why
so.
would they
Yeah.
close
I guess
And
Disney?
it
so.
had just
You
it
go to
was,
Disney to
not
honor
open
him.
that
Yeah.
long.
They wouldn't close it.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you go to Disney to honor. It's about America. You go to honor Kennedy too. I'm just
Well,
saying.
yeah, but
you
it was
know.
the assassination of.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
his
right.
was
I'm
more-
not.
his was
I'm
a
not
more
just-
chill
it
death
surprises
compared
me.
to Kennedy.
I guess so. I mean, they're all
Right.
they're all bad, but one is
Yeah, but
natural.
his-
one
he
is-
wasn't,
Literally,
like,
if you
murdered.
believe he's
Right.
cryogenically frozen.
yeah, right. Conspiracy.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Terry, thank you so much
Yeah,
for making us
thank
look
you.
totally
Yeah,
stupid.
woo.
We appreciate it.
I got to go buy a
But this is-
biography on Walt
Yeah,
and
right.
read it and
Yeah,
highlight.
I feel like we should
and
have done
take
better.
Notes.
I feel like we should have done better,
Yeah.
but it's okay. So
I feel like I should have studied
yeah,
more.
well, such is life. Anyway, guys, that is
That's our episode.
it for today, and we had fun,
Yeah.
no matter how it
Learned
sounds.
a lot.
That's right.
I feel like I learned.
And thank
in
you,
class.
Terry.
Thank
Thank you,
I'll
guys.
see you at home.
Yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes.
And Briers, I won't see you at home. I'll see you next time.
No, you won't see me.
Okay.
Unless
All right.
I come to your house.
Yeah. It's late. All right, guys. Have a magical week. We will see you next time.
Take care.
The Disney Click is a Meltdown Presents production, produced by Terri Lubaroff and Mason Booker. Audio engineer, the miracle worker, Mason Booker, with your hosts, Rick Lubaroff and Briers Newman. Our theme song, King of the Swingers, is performed by the Swing Ninjas and provided by freemusicarchive.org. Jazzy Frenchie is our break music and can be found on bensound.com. End credit music Dill Pickles is performed by the Heftone Banjo Orchestra and provided by freemusicarchive.org. Don't forget to tweet us at The Disney Click. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Disney Click. Use the hashtag Top5 Disney Click to share your own Top 5.